realm. Mad Queen's back again for the continuation of some tinfoils. Try to, push out some positive vibes and thinkings and whatnots into the fandom. We just came from Monero's channel, so now we're here. And I know it is well past Lady Monero's bedtime, but she hanging with us still, even though her internet is on the fritz. And we got the Professor Diligence here to grace us with a little bit of tinfoil. So let's go ahead and get it on started. Oh, see, there go her internet messing up already. But come on, Black Wildling.
Okay, guys. So I have like a repository of theories from videos that I should have made, many years ago that I just did not. One of those videos actually ended up being, one of these notes actually ended up being the Hoster Tully Has a Secret video, which I know is kind of controversial, but cool. So I wanted to go over some other theories, but I didn't want to bore you guys. So I was thinking that we could maybe like pick a topic. AK, like, can you pick a topic? And then like we
pick a topic in the form of tinfoil.
In the form of tinfoil, like I have tinfoil on almost everything. I really do. Like I could. There's one thing that pops up to mind, but I don't want to do this without Nero being able to talk. Like I kind of,
yes.
say this, she's gonna go, what? And she's going to
right, and she's gonna come in and drop that extra special dime on us. So Monero, my lady, can you hear us? I know your interwebs are on the fritz. What's your status on? Chat. Dude, the interwebs don't ever want us to be great, man.
Man. What's up?
Yeah, that does suck. Yeah. Okay, so she can hear us, but it's not working that we could hear her, which really sucks.
Are we taking bandwidth? I'm going to turn off my camera. Are you talking now?
Oh, wait, yeah. Okay, let me try that, see if it saves. Nope.
No, nothing.
Oh, that's so sad. That hurts my feelings.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Damn it, YouTube. You need to give us more than 3 hours, man. Oh, goodness. All right, well, let's see. Hopefully, if a reboot, she comes back in. But in the meantime, shout out to everybody that came through from the old stream over to here. And we got the little sister Sam R09 in the spot. Chrissy, my sis, always holding it down. Danny McKay, Catherine, apparently Human is in the spot. Jake Cruz, what's going on? Shade of the Evening is in. Plexi Brand, always good to see you. Already retracting the statement. House retract, stay lit. That's just what they do. Peter Griffin, what's going on? Let's see who else we got here. I thought I saw somebody else come in. Nope. Okay, I think I got everybody. Thank y'all for coming through and hanging with us. You know, we've literally, this is our third stream of the night in so many hours and whatnot. So, Lady Monero, how is your sound? Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. No, she said it didn't work. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. I don't like that. Damn it. The interwebs do not want us to be great. I see spots. What's going on? Oh, man. All right, well, we'll see if she can jump in later. Hopefully it works in just a couple minutes and she doesn't just go to bed. But tinfoil, let's see. Some good tinfoil. In chat room, we'll put that question to you. Oh, yeah, okay. She says her internet's tapping out. And well, it did give us a good like 4 hours or so between the two streams. So I suppose we can't be too mad at it, you know. I do believe Monero is doing a stream tomorrow. I want to say, let me double check. I believe it is on Altered Carbon. Season 1 of Altered Carbon. Yes, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. Y'all tune into Monero's channel. I'm going to post the link in the chat right now so you can get to it. Please set your notifications and come by and hang with us. And if you're in the mood to binge anything tonight, you don't want to go to sleep, go ahead and binge Season 1 of Altered Carbon. You won't be disappointed.
Awesome. And season 2 is dope too.
Oh, yo, I like season 2 a lot better. I like season 1, but season 2 was like way better. I enjoyed the hell out of that show. Okay, so chat room again. We're gonna pose a question to you as well. What random tinfoil would you like to chat about?
What are you gonna talk about?
Let's see. Y'all say something.
Oh, what? What's up?
Let's see.
Sad though. I really want to.
Oh, wait. No, that's not it. Where'd it go? That's it. Okay, so we have spoken about it, but what does Lady D think of Fire and Blood? Have you read Fire and Blood, Lady Diligence?
Of course, I read Fire and Blood. I thought it was useful because it's a history book.
Mm-hmm.
So I read it cover to cover, but I recognized that it was written to be a reference book. So I thought it was great for what it was supposed to be. I wish it was something that was more story filled, but the reality is that's not what it's supposed to be. And it was great because it gave us a lot to that from historical context now.
Agreed.
Parallel to the story, and then also like it gave us some more context around things that we thought we knew about, like more about Alice Dane and Jaehaerys and all that. Like those things are great. And so I am looking for Fire and Blood Volume 2. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Volume 2, and I'm also looking forward to the, I believe it may not be the next installment, but one of the installments of Dunk and Egg that I know Georgia wanted to do was the She-Wolves of Winterfell. And that is a very, very interesting time in Stark history with these women trying to fight over their sons being heirs or not. It's interesting. Beef and Bernie has stepped into the spot. What's going on? Monero, I think, had a question just now. Let me find it. Let's see. So let's talk about the vision Arion has after Euron gives him the shade of the evening. Bro, look, all I'm going to say before I let B go in, because I know she's going to have some good thoughts, is George is the ultimate fucking troll. Did y'all peep his game when that prequel chapter dropped? This was right after the show gave us that discount older Theon, not actually looking like Balon's little brother, but looking like Theon's big brother, discount Captain Guyliner Euron, in place of the nightmare that we know he is. And George said, no, fuck you. This is Euron. And we got that Forsaken chapter, and yeah, it's a bit chilling. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you go in first, Lady D, because we're here to hear the professor talk. School is in. People, ready your quills, ink, and parchment, and take notes. Come through, Professor. What you got?
So, all right. That shade of the evening induced dream, or whatever you want to call it, dream state, right? Like, okay, and this is gonna all the foil. Just gonna take it all, from my head.
Give it to us.
I think that Euron is using magic that has been forgotten to feed off of these people. And I think, well, that's why he takes the girl and his brother finally to the bows of the ships or whatever. I think that he's using them as sacrifices. So maybe there's a drowned god or not or whatever, but he is using their life force through blood magic, whatever. It's some type of shit that we haven't seen yet. And that's what he's doing. If you think about it, if he really had the armor from Valyria and he knew everything and he didn't need, you know what I'm saying, to speak to Euron, not Euron, to Arian, then he could have just tortured him, put him on the front of the ship, raped him, whatever it is his sick behind wanted to do. But instead, he kept this man alive and kept giving him a hallucinogen to get him to talk. So I feel like whatever it was, whatever the reason is for him giving his brother these things to have these visions, these hallucinogens, he needed his brother in order to do it. And I haven't put the pieces together yet, but the thing that makes sense to me is that he needed his brother to do. It's like, I need you to keep saying shit. Like, I need you to take this and say stuff, and whatever it is that you're saying is useful to me for some reason, and then when it's no longer useful, I'm just going to go ahead and kill you. At first, I thought that he was just torturing him because he's a sick fuck, but that's not it.
Way deeper.
Like, why would you waste the shade of the evening? You can't even get that in Westeros. You have to get that in Essos. Like, that's like if someone was trying to, roll some sticky icky or whatever, and they're like, well, I'm just gonna keep giving this to this person that I'm gonna kill. Like, no, you would not, bro. What? You have to go all the way to California from wherever you are or something like that. Like, you wouldn't do that. I just don't think that you would waste something like that. I don't think you would waste Shade of the Evening. I think he was giving it to him for a purpose to make him hallucinate because he needed whatever Arian was capable of seeing. And at first, I thought it was about having some connection to the drowned god or two gods or having some special ability. But he tied that pregnant girl up, and it's his kid as well. But
with his kid.
If Euron is magical, then that means the child might have been magical too. So there you go. That's the point of tying the girl up to the ship. It's not so much her that he's sacrificing, it's the baby. So I think that whatever it is going on with Euron, that he needs information from Arian. As far as like Blood of the Evening, not Blood of the Evening, Shade of the Evening foil for Bloodraven, I don't have any. Do you guys have some? What do you have for Shade of the Evening?
Okay, yeah, she gave me an answer for that. Hold on. It says that that he's the great other.
Oh my gosh.
I have not heard a lot of tinfoil on that, but that is interesting to think of. When it comes to Bloodraven and him actually, going to the Weirwood Throne, I'm of a mind that he didn't want to really get stuck there, but he was enticed by the magic that he might have been able to upgrade and get there. And, by the time he woke up, the roots already had him and there was no escaping. I mean, if you think about that whole scene when Bran is discovering and walking through these deep tunnels, well, not walking, riding through, but y'all know what I mean. It like all color drains away, like everything is black and white. There are pieces, segments of bone that are showing through Bloodraven's skin, which is all pale and horrible looking. He only has one eye, and the empty eye socket has a weirwood root growing through it. And I believe, one of the theory, part of a theory that I heard before from Order of the Green Hand that they pointed out is if you really assess how Bloodraven is described in that point, it doesn't seem like he even has any more blood. rolling through him, because how are you having whole patches of your skin missing to where your bones are showing and there's no blood leaking out?
Well, he's definitely being kept alive by the earth.
Yeah. So it's way too far for Blood Raven to go anywhere, which I think does feed into the theory that a lot of folks have that Blood Raven is trying to hijack Bran's body somehow.
Yeah.
But then again, if he's able to hijack Bran's body, he still can't move that well. So how does he propose to really do anything?
I really don't think Blood Raven is evil, y'all. Like, I know I'm like the biggest Blood Raven apologist, check the colors, but I'm free Raven. Free Blood Raven. This man is falsely accused of everything. All he ever does is try to help. People just look at him and think he's evil because of the birthmark on his face. This man is literally out here trying to save lives. At every turn that you look at, he is basically out here saving lives. Free Raven, free Blood Raven. He is not evil. He's been doing what he has to do. Oh, he burned a bunch of bodies. There was a plague. What is wrong with you? Burn them all. Like, what is... We got coronavirus right now. Y'all saying the same thing? Listen, when that spike happens in a couple of weeks, which it will, because, you know, we've been out in the street protesting, like that, and people going to freaking lakes and having parties and like dumb stuff. So when that happens, you know what I'm saying? God forbid we're going to be in here like China, like, no, burn them all. Like, please get rid of these bodies. So he did what he had to do to stop it from spreading. And there's real life examples of stopping plagues by quarantining and burn. Like, this is so there you go. As far as him, you know, chopping off dude's head, I mean, look, he was trying to avoid a war. If you could have got Hitler over here, right? Before everything really popped off of World War II, you could have just got him over here and was like, yeah, Hitler is cool. Just come over here and talk. Like, you won't even do anything. It's cool if you come. Totally won't, like, violate international law and kill you if you show up. And that fool showed up. Yo, of course we were going to kill him. We were going to kill him right then. We were going to kill him and be like, our bad. Don't, like, come to war with us. But it's we killed the hell out of him. We killed him so much. We were just really just killed him dead, all the way dead. Like, as soon as he even got off the boat, he would have literally been like, I'm an American warderist. Bam, we could just blew up the whole ship with everybody on it. Like, we wouldn't even care. So I think that Blood Raven is an evil. So there's that.
I mean, no, I don't think he's wholly evil also. I do think that he was tricked and manipulated and trapped in the weirwood roots. Hence, I think that's something that they did pull from the books in the show, because he straight up said, do you think I've wanted to be trapped in these roots? Like, no, he's really trying to explain the gravity of the situation to this little boy. But Brand's a cute kid, and he's not stupid. He is a smart lad, but he's also still got PTSD and in grief because he has no use of his legs anymore. So he's not trying to hear that shit. You know?
I love Brand, but like, it's time for us to come to terms with the fact that Brand is actually a sadistic fuck.
Yeah,
actually a sadistic fuck. We love him, but this, you guys, he exhibits all of like the hallmarks of he
is Faramir Sixskins come again. Just saying, y'all got to notice that look, and y'all know I am a stan for House Stark, but I will always call bullshit when I see bullshit. And Bran, my guy, you done fucked up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
He's a sadistic fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I wanted to talk about Phil's questions, but he has some good ones.
Yes, let's get to Phil. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, if you go all the way up, are you able to highlight them? Because I can't highlight any. But it's he was talking about how our Shade of the Evening paste is the polar opposite of Weirwood paste. And
Okay, it's not letting me scroll back up that far, but I go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
I subscribe to that theory. Somewhat, I do. Because I feel like werewood is blood and bone, and ironwood is ice. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like ice and I don't know what the second element is, but definitely it's blood and bone and ice and whatever it is. Need to look at the Reed's pledge again actually and see what's not included in that pledge of.
Yeah, they gave the old school First Men pledge.
Yeah.
You know, what is it by like blood and bone, iron and something or other, and fire and ice,
something like that. So
yeah, they went in with their shit. So and this is the crux of everything, to where I say, when you think about some of these houses in the north, you have to think about their origins. And honestly, around the whole realm of Westeros, I think it leads me, it gives me a road, a path of thought to House Royce. And House Royce, they're in the Eyrie. They are very loyal vassals to House Aaron, but the Royces are a northern house that actually migrated sort. They're basically like almost the opposites of Wyman Manderley, or I'll say the mirror image of the Manderleys. The Manderleys started in the south, they went north. The Royces started in the north, they ended up south. How and why, I don't remember if it was even mentioned. But House Royce, they're famed for their old school use of bronze in their weapons and armor. And they also have First Men runes that are etched into their armor. And everyone makes fun of House Royce because they using all this, quote unquote, old school tech. For me, I kind of stand Jan Royce. He's an old man. He's got aspirations just as any other vassal lord. He can be seen as maybe an opportunist at certain different times, but their house words are "we remember." And I think there's a very, very logical reason that they remember. They need to go ahead and keep that bronze in their armor and weapons. They are a northern house. No one was touched more than by the first long night, or the second long night, as I think it was, than the northern folks. So he knows that possibly some shit might be coming south again. Something might happen in some way, shape, or form, and they're gonna need this armor and runes to help them out. That bronze is made with copper, and I told y'all before, copper gets stronger the colder it gets. There's a reason for that. Go ahead, Lady D.
So here's the thing, though. The Royces are a First Men house and not a Northern house. I was unsure, and I just looked it up.
Yes, my bad.
I misspoke. From the north and came down. The Royces are so bad that they were able to remain in the Vale as a First Man house, which that's what the hell after the Andals came. So that is something.
Right. Not necessarily Northern First Man house.
They remember the old ways. They remember. I think that's great. That's great. Yay. Okay.
Yes. Okay. There was another one. Salsa K is in the chat. What's going on, Sarah? Let me switch back over
here in the chat, in the thing chat over here. Or you did. Sorry. It was you. When you showed Dragon Glass.
Was that the one for? Oh yeah, the one from Jake. Okay, so Jake says, when you shove dragon glass into someone's chest, do you just get magical powers? Are you possessed by some other demon? Do the children of the forest control your mind? I feel like with most magic, how that works is it depends on what the intent is when it happens. Like magic is, folks talk about, dark magic or black magic and whatnot. Magic is just magic. It's the person that's wielding that magic is where the good or evil part comes in my opinion. So when let's take the show for an instance. They shoved the dragon glass into Benjen's heart to stop the transformation of him going into, turning into a white. But then, previously we've seen that dragon glass shoved into another person, ended up creating the Night King. I think that had to do with whatever spell they put around that time. They meant to use this dragon glass to save Benjen, so that's what it did. That's whatever spells they use when putting that dragon glass into him, that's what it was supposed to do. So I don't think it necessarily means that you fall into control under anyone. It's really just the intent of the person, but likely the child of the forest, is using that dragon glass for. I think the dragon glass is maybe just the key, like that concentrated, magical element that they need. But then whatever spells they say after that, that's what predicts the outcome of whatever they're trying to do. I don't know. That's just me spitballing. What do you think about that, B?
I think I think that I think I hate the show. I hate the show, and
damn it, Monero is still in the chat. You're gonna trigger her troll.
I don't care. I'm triggering it. Triggered. Trigger warning. Trigger fingers. All of the things you can think of to put trigger with. Do that right now. That's how I'm. Though I hate them. I hate them so much. So I hate them, and since I hate them, I'm sorry. I hate them. I'm trying to hate them. Not 1 second. I hate them. And I don't know if whether or not even if what they're even depicting is true at all. I mean, you just got this guy. Was he riding along by himself and just happened to kidnap him? For all we know, joke's on you guys and it was a fluke. You know what I'm saying? How the hell did you never do this spell before? Did you really not know that your creation would gain complete sentience and turn on you? How did you never do this shit before? Why did you start off with a kid? Why would you start off with a whole grown man? And then why would you start off with a Stark of all things? He would have had to have been a Stark because that's probably where he gets the freaking ice power from. I don't think that they were trying to make people that were extra powered because they had the power, right? I think they wanted to create an army and be able to control that army in the same way that the whites are able to, the others are able to control the whites, and they messed up. I think they screwed up, and their creation got away from them because I think that at a base level, the children of the forest are a people who have been conquered and are now, well, not now, but at the time, fighting for their freedom. So they were literally waging a war to get their homeland back. So they were literally willing to do whatever, or some of them were a faction. Some of them were like, screw this peace. They still killing us in some places, whatever. We're not at peace until we fully at peace type of thing. So we're on take what you owe type of thing. Like, we want our land back. And so I don't think that they would create anything that would be capable, or intentionally create anything that would be capable of taking their land or taking what it is that they're fighting for. They're going to be trying to create something that can help them take it back, but isn't powerful enough to go up against them. That's the whole point of a soldier. You obey. I'm creating you to fight for me because you're bigger than we are and you're stronger than we are and you have all these weapons. So I need to create someone who's big and strong and can deal with all of these weapons and whatever else. I don't necessarily need to imbue you with my powers though, because shit, then you'll be bigger than me and stronger than me and you can wield the human weapon and have my powers, which is a horrible idea. It's a horrible idea. So I don't think that they did that on purpose. I think they screwed up. So I don't think that you just get magic powers to answer your question. I think that they screwed around and shoved that freaking frozen fire into a Stark, and the Stark had blood that was like their blood because somebody's great great grandmother on the Stark side would have been a warg king's daughter, so a warg princess or whatever. And where's that warg blood coming from? Children of the Forest. So backfired on you, jokes on you. You know what happens when you stab obsidian in the children of the forest? We don't know, but maybe it turns into a thing that can freaking manipulate ice. you know, probably not good.
To compare it to another fandom, you know, what happens when you put two wands against each other and they have the same wand core from the same damn magical creature? Hello, Harry and Voldemort, why their wands always seem to backfire against each other until that last battle when Voldemort isn't actually using his old wand. It's, yeah, the parallel is there. Yeah, and I totally feel what you're saying. And you got to think that it's not just, you know, a regular Stark that he has. You know, the Starks have magic blood, but this is a Stark from the old times, quote unquote. And what did Bruce Bolton say in the histories and lore? You know, the Starks of old were hard men bred for a hard time. That shit was war 24/7. You had to be ready to fight at damn near any moment. And you put, you know, a prisoner that is of that mindset, and you try to work some magic spells on him when he already has magic shit going in his blood. It's like what's his name? The Edward Norton Hulk movie, the guy that played the Abomination, which was like the ridiculous mutated form of the Hulk. That's basically what the Children of the Forest did. They didn't, I don't think they completely thought it through, which can be, you know, explained that they were desperate and whatnots. I get it. But that clearly was not the way to go, because men were their enemy, yes, but they created an even greater enemy.
I mean, read the instructions. Like, who's not good with this? Y'all bunch of amateur Children of the Forest. Where are your parents?
Exactly.
Were they children? Was it literally? Was it actually children of the Forest? Like, we're only 400 years old. You know what I'm saying?
See, you know what?
3,200 years old. Yeah. Like, what? How did this happen?
Interesting tidbit about that. You know, when we're looking again at the histories and lores, it said that, you know, cooler heads prevailed when they made that first pact. To me, and you know, it might be just a reach for my random tinfoil, but this is a tinfoil stream, so I'm gonna put it out there. It seems to me that the Children of the Forest may have had their own civil war, and a group of them broke off, and they were the ones that went and tried to, you know, find a bigger, better weapon, thus creating the Night King. But then there was another faction that just snuck off and, you know, got lost in the histories. No one knows what happened to them. They're probably somewhere around the Isle of Faces.
On the Isle of Faces.
I'm spitballing on that, but it seems like a likely source that they would go to. And, you know, once the Night King came in, and this is the crazy thing where it's why I've always said that I don't think there's actually going to be a huge final battle. The White Walkers won during the Long Night. Like, y'all realize that, right? There were whole generations where, you know, women got so desperate to, you know, not have to see their child suffer that they would kill their kids themselves. Whole generations, like old Nan said, you know, born all in darkness and lived all in darkness. They won the war. They had control of everything. So why the hell did they fuck off all of a sudden to the lands of always winter? That wasn't no winning of a battle. That was a parlay that happened. And whatever the terms came up, or whatever, boons and prizes they were able to take with them, or whatever contract, maybe for supplying, fresh sons every now and then.
I'm thinking it had to be
And they left the lands of men. But of course, something happened again to awake their ire, and now they're coming back to attack.
I'm thinking it would have to been some mutually assured destruction type shit. Because if we control like the world, like, or half of the world or more, you know what I'm saying? Like humanity had to launch some sort of offensive that was effective to a point to where it drove them back to get them in a point to where they're even willing to negotiate. Because think about it. If I own the whole world, what the hell am I negotiating? You know what I'm
saying? Right, exactly.
So something had to happen, like out series battles, but some shit had to happen to get them to a point where they're like, okay.
And that's something that is in the shadows. That it feeds so much into my tinfoil. Like, this is where I get to comparing A Song of Ice and Fire. Some of their factions around Westeros. And even maybe Essos, because Dorne, their a lot of their lineages started in Essos with the Ronar people. It's why I equate them to benders, as in like legends of the airbender and what, or the Avatar whatnots. I think that it's already stated that there were water wizards in the Ronar. And we know the Ronar eventually migrated to be a few powerful houses in Dorne, courtesy of Princess Nymeria. There are the Crannog men, who I've always said were earthbenders, because I'm sorry, you're not going to get me to believe that two guys, with a baby and a couple swords, tore down a whole tower in Dorne by themselves. There's some extracurricular shit going on there. And also, Ned can't remember that whole fiasco as accurately as he should. So, Howland was doing some shit. And again, to drive that point further home, the houses and whatnots in the neck move. How you have whole ass houses just floating through the swamps?
Water watch, yeah.
That's there's some earthbenders. I'm sorry. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. The Starks, I feel like they're ice benders, and I don't mean that to say that they are waterbenders. No, I don't think they can do anything with water unless it's frozen. The waterbenders are the children of the green blood in Dorne. They have that water wizard power. The parallels to me are there, and I'm probably reaching, like Preston Jacobs likes to say, I'm probably wrong about all of this, but this is the shit my tinfoil mound goes to. So I thought it was Greywater Watch that move. It is great. Greywater Watch does move, but there is a point where one of the Freys is talking to Arya, I think, and they say like all of their houses move. So it's not just Greywater Watch; it's all of them. And Mira said in the Histories and Lores, just because you found like one of our huts or one of our villages one time doesn't mean you can come back to that same spot and find us again. That's why a lot of people see the only way to cross the neck is going through the Twins to go over that bridge. Unless you have a Crannog man leading you through those swamps, you're going to die. That's why the Freys are so rich.
So, John H. had a question and put it in the chat. So
yes, indeed.
And yes, the battle is the battle for the dawn, and the war for the dawn is what's coming, which is interesting, right? Because that's bigger than the battle. But the battle for the dawn is where supposedly Azor Ahai, whoever that figure is, defeated the others, but we take some issue with that because it's like if this was a global thing, that means that the fighting would have had to happen everywhere on the planet at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's like, that's why we talk about it like that, because it's like if that is what happened, cool. But if it's not what happened, then like, because it's a little bit like how, like like they had the whole
Things
earth,
that
like
make you go, hmm.
yeah, like things make you go, like
Yep.
how does like one guy and 12 friends with flaming swords go and take, or one guy and like a contingent and we fought to beat them all back, like all the heroes, like it was pitch black. How did y'all all get to one place and meet up and be like, okay, we're all gonna fight now at the same time around
At the
planet?
same time.
And that could not have been what happened. Like, but
it doesn't make sense. And that's the thing, because see, and this is the fun thing really about creating tinfoil, because no matter what you say, it could have happened like that, because it is a well-established fact that the maesters do not always write history as it should be written. Just like the history, what is it called? The World Book, the World of Ice and Fire. That was specifically written to favor a certain king. So it's, there aren't always accurate tales that are going on there. There's a reason, I think, to why we have these, like, what is it, like 6 or 7 different names. Somebody in the chat, if y'all could Google for me real quick, look up like all of the names associated with Azor Ahai from around the world of Planetos. I know Edric Storm Chaser, or Edric Shadow Chaser is one of them. Harkon the Hero is another. And there's a few more, but I can't remember them off the top of my head right now. All of these different places seem to have experienced the same thing, but it's not written that way in the histories written by the Maesters as we know it. It's left for people to actually go and find out and seek this knowledge. And I think that's why the Citadel has such a lockdown. That's why the Citadel has a restricted section, period. Like, they wanted to burn all of what's his name, Bart's copies of damn, what was it, like dragons, wyverns, worms, the unnatural history. Yeah, it's nuts. There's just so much there. Yeah, like Linda Smith said, history is written by the winners. There's so much that's actually left out, to where when you look at the clues that are there and you see they don't add up to what's in the books, your mind can wander to all these other fantastical things. I mean, we have, kings and people living past like 1, 2, 3, 400 years old and whatnot. And I'm not saying that those things didn't happen, because it's very plausible that they did. If you look at the Great Empire of the Dawn and History of Westeros, did a collaboration with Lucifer Means Lightbringer a few years back. It's still up on their page. It's one of my favorite videos. I rewatch it like every now and then, just because I love hearing about the Great Empire of the Dawn theories. All of those folks, they a lot of them are in the same mindset. Like, no, there's some extracurricular shit that started with the Great Empire of the Dawn. There's a reason why that culture was mentioned to us.
Extracurricular shit. It's a lot of extracurricular. There's a lot of extra shit that shouldn't be going on.
There is. Like, you can't even begin to try to battle a strategy, any of this shit, because you don't even know everything that you're going up against. You have to actually actively seek out and find the right information. You have to go to the Citadel and steal some old scrolls and books from the restricted section. You have to go to the Winterfell Library and see all of the shit that they have. And Winterfell Library, fun fact if y'all didn't know, is one of the best libraries in Westeros besides the Citadel. So the North remembers. It does, once it got to certain points in the story, unfortunately, the North forgot, but their records are there to be read if you can get to them. Same with the library at the wall. There's a whole lot of magic in those books as well that
The
people
Wall
aren't
has the
hip
best
to.
library. You can mark my words, guys. Whatever needs to be found, it's in between Winterfell and the Wall, definitely. But the Wall has it, because think about it. All those things that Barth wrote that they would have wanted to get rid of, Aemon could have had copies of them. He's a royal. He could have had copies, and he could have taken them to the Wall.
That is so true. What wasn't it like 1 or 2 books that Tyrion said when he saw them at the Winterfell library? He was like, "Oh, this is the most complete form of this book that I've ever seen." It never says if Tyrion visits the library at the Wall, but because of how his character is written, I think it's implied that he probably did spend some time there, and he found even more cool shit to look through.
Yeah, and didn't he take books?
He took some books from Winterfell's library. Yeah, he asked to borrow them.
This is like, whenever we get to see what's like really going on because it'll be Sam's in Old Town now, right, in the books. So it'll be Sam in Old Town figuring stuff out, and then coming back to Winterfell or to Castle Black, however it works, and being in that library too. Probably Winterfell. Sam will probably never see Sam at the Wall ever again.
Yeah. Okay. So Sam has the titles
like
for him.
2 more, and then I gotta go.
Okay. All right. Real quick. So Sam put the titles up for us. It's Warrior of Light, Son of Fire, Warrior of Fire, Herkun the Hero, Yintar, Nefarion, and Eldrick Shadow Chaser. And if you look at all of the old school cultures that were big back in the day, all of those names fit to a certain people. For the first men, I think it's Eldrick Shadow Chaser. That's not an Essos type name that would be there. So it's all of this just really culminates when you really start going into the roots of the werewoods and down the rabbit holes, and you pick and point where the Maesters has fucked up in writing the history. There's so much richness really to be gathered there. So, but I think we can end on that note. Lady D's got to go. I'm probably gonna be, still up messing around for a little while. But huh?
I'm sorry, Sam. Do you see Sam in the chat?
I don't want it to end either, man. But Lady D's got to go to sleep.
I do.
And I get, she's got a tiny human that's probably going to be up in a few hours. She needs her view to rest.
The wine is getting to me, guys. The wine is it's hitting me. So I'm definitely going to go to sleep so that I can wake up early in the morning and deal with the little new, because the little new needs to be dealt with all the time. She runs her life. She does. She's just everything. So, yeah.
She is. Is she crawling all the way yet? Has she gotten off of the bouncy bounce?
Girl. Sanaya's almost 2 now.
Dude, you haven't sent us videos in like a while, man.
Oh, goodness. Well, she is walking. She is talking, honey. She's like, no. Relax, Sanaya.
Oh, that's right. You did tell us she was starting to say no now. Why is it kids like the first word they learn besides mama is no?
No. Well, I mean, she knows other words too, but she's just, no is cute because she's never yelled. You know how kids will go, meow. She's never done that. She just goes, no.
Because she is your daughter and she brings all of the sass. That's why. Yeah. You know what they say about kids, right? They're a grandparent's revenge.
Yeah, I get it.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Well, she's great. I think I must have been an awesome child because she's great. She does have some fussy moments, but for the most part, she's just like, whatever. Like, and she sits in a high chair, she does this. Like, she literally sits in a high chair and does this and then eats like with the other hand. Is the cutest, most wonderful thing. She's so awesome. Everything she
I
does.
demand tiny human video moments, damn it.
I'll get you guys some because she's great. I love her. She's great.
All right, yo, thank y'all for coming through this journey with us and chilling. You know, we've done what, like 3 streams back to back now. We've gotten, you know, we got some serious talk, and I really hope that folks listen to that and can properly, you know, reassess themselves. And let's just be easy in the fandom and have fun talking about all this tinfoil and randomness, man. You know, we're past all that, and we got into the tinfoil and then more tinfoil, and I'm always here for the tinfoil, but you know, humans need to sleep, so we gotta go. Well, Lady D gotta go. I'm probably gonna go play some video games or some shit.
Yeah, Lady D. I'll see you guys another time because we definitely, I don't know if we're doing Saturday and Sunday, but whatever day that we can guilt trip tea, baby, that I would love to read. I would love to read through the theories, the Riverlands theory and
Okay.
this last one because I think it'll be great. And I'd like the history of Westeros and Radio Westeros format. And so
Yes.
I think I would like to try because my videos are always long and I have this script. So it's like, why not just sit here and talk to my girls about it and like bounce stuff off of them? And that would be great. That would be so much fun.
I am here for that at any given point in time.
Yeah, okay. So all right, we'll see you guys later.
So yeah, thank you for hanging with us, everyone. Thanks for coming over and bouncing with us through this 3 stream, you know, marathon that we did. Don't forget to check out Monero's channel tomorrow. She's going to be talking about Altered Carbon season 1 at 1 p.m. Eastern. Be there or be square, and you'll see us. You know, a couple days, sometime next week, we're going to be talking about the Lannister brothers, not, you know, the golden dumbass and the imp, but the, you know, the old school, you know, Tywin and Garyon and Tiggets and all of them cats. So stay tuned. Please set your notifications. Thanks for hanging with us, and we will catch y'all next time.
Catch you next time. Oh, and Jamie definitely told.
Fuck Catelyn Tully.
Yeah, screw her. And Jamie.